Hey there tech fans, Rick here with a full review of the Orei UHD-IPC230-WPE HDMI extension kit. With this product, you can easily share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 70 meters away over a single Cat6, Cat6A, or even a Cat7 cable. The product employs the very latest in power over cable technology, which means once you add power to the transmitter, all the power required for the receiver module is sent over that same LAN cable, eliminating the need for a second power supply. The remote receiver even provides audio extraction capabilities, which will digitally strip the audio from the media stream you're sharing and allow you to pass that along through an analog connection to a home stereo or soundbar for better quality audio. The kit also includes a set of infrared blasters that will collect up the remote control signals from that secondary location and pass those back over that same LAN cable to the primary location where they're rebroadcast so you can remotely control the content you're watching. Now, as part of this review, I'd like to start with an unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you buy the product. And then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and the receiver modules. I'll explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use the product, and then I'll come back and remind you of a few things that I really like about this particular product that you can use to compare it to other HDMI extension kits you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the transmitter module, and you'll notice it has a faceplate integrated into it, which makes it incredibly easy to mount it into a wall outlet. You'll also find the receiver module and a set of brackets you can use to mount this receiver module up off the ground and out of the way. You'll find two infrared blasters. One is labeled infrared in and one is labeled infrared out, and they are a little bit different, so it's important you plug this one into the receiver and this one into the transmitter for proper operation. You'll also find a full instruction manual included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details you'll need to understand about the product to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both modules, and then I'll come back and point out a few things that really separate this particular HDMI extender kit from a lot of other products on the market. Inside the kit, you'll find the sender module, which is the transmitter, and the receiver module. The sender module is located where your media equipment is today that you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. The receiver module is located at that secondary site where you'd like to enjoy the content. And these can be up to 70 meters apart, and the only connection between them is a Cat6, Cat6A, or Cat7 cable. Let's start by looking at the sender module. On the front of the product, you'll find an infrared out port. That's a 3.5mm port that's used with one of the infrared blasters. It's important you plug in the one that's labeled IR out. Below that is an HDMI input port. That's a full-sized HDMI connection. This connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. Below that are two indicators, power and HDMI. When you add power to the unit, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking all the electronics to make sure everything's working okay. Once it passes that test, it'll light that power indicator letting you know the module's active. To the right of that is an HDMI indicator. This product will actually test the media stream coming in and the connection between this port and your media device. Once it verifies that, it'll light the HDMI light solid, so you should have both of these on under normal operation. To the right of that is a reset button. You can hold that in to reset this module if needed. Now around back there are two more connections. Right here you'll find a LAN connection. That's where one end of the cable between the sender and the receiver plugs in. And on the top you'll find two screws right there, two little terminals. And that's where you'll connect your house power to it. So it can be 110 or 240. So you'll make the connection right there. And that provides power for this module and generates power being sent to the remote module from that LAN connection. The receiver module, full metal enclosure, which makes it incredibly durable. On the sides, you'll find holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit if you want to mount this up off the ground and out of the way. On the one end, you'll find a reset button on the left. Again, you can use that to reset the module if needed. In the center, you'll find the LAN port. That's where the other end of that LAN cable from the transmitter plugs in. To the right of that is another 3.5mm port for the second infrared blaster. Make sure you plug the one in that's labeled IR in. To the right of that is a power indicator. The minute you power up the transmitter and connect up the LAN cable, this unit then has power, and it starts an internal power on self-test as well. When it passes that, it'll light that LED letting you know it's ready to use. On the other end, you'll find a DC input port. That's not used in this case because of the power over cable technology, so disregard that. The HDMI port is labeled HDMI out, and that actually plugs into the monitor that you'd like to enjoy the content on. As I mentioned, this module can also do audio extraction, so it's going to strip the audio from the media stream being shared on that monitor, and it allows you to pass it through this analog connection, which is a 3.5mm left and right connection, to a soundbar or home stereo for better quality audio. So you can use that if you'd like to have an improvement in the audio quality. And that's pretty much it for the kit. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few things that I really like about this particular solution that you can use to compare it to other HDMI extension kits you may be considering. The first thing should be pretty obvious. It's the fact that Orei has incorporated a faceplate into the transmitter module, which makes installation incredibly easy and gives it a really professional look, because you can mount this in a wall box like this or even a multi-gang box, and once you do, all the electronics sits behind the wall. So the only thing you'll see is the faceplate, and all the connections and indicators you need are right here on the front. So it looks great when it's mounted into the wall. I also like the fact that the solution uses the latest in power over cable technology, which means once I wire this into my home wiring, it not only powers the transmitter, but the transmitter sends power for the remote receiver over that same LAN connection, which greatly simplifies your wiring and eliminates the need for a power supply at that secondary location. I like the fact that it can support 4K ultra high definition content, because a lot of the HDMI extender kits on the market may support 4K but only 30 frames a second, or maybe 1080p. So knowing you've got a solution that can support 4K means you're going to get the best possible picture and audio at the remote location. I like the fact that it does audio extraction at the remote receiver end, because that allows me to strip the audio from the media stream and pass it along to a soundbar or home stereo for better quality audio, because the speaker in that TV is not that great, so it really enhances the audio. Finally, the infrared blaster kit really allows me to control the content from that remote location, with the media player being located at the primary location. If you didn't have these infrared blasters, you would basically have to start the movie, then run up to your second location to watch the movie, but you'd have no control over fast forward, rewind, or pausing when you were at that secondary location. So the fact that these are included gives you complete remote control over your content. Everything you need to get started is included with the box, and it's a really simple product to use. So hopefully you found this review helpful. I've enjoyed doing it. And until next time, thanks again for watching, and stay nerdy.